So I'm Tyrone Karen, head farmer of Grace Forest Farm. I'm from the logistics industry. I started with USEN, but before that, I worked with PNB and Filipino National Bank.
I'm Karen Kennedy. Now I'm more of a part-time farmer, but before I actually did CrossFit. I had 2 CrossFit gyms. So I was kind of into fitness for maybe like 14 years. I also did corporate wellness, and that ended around about the pandemic time. Now I'm head of BMW Motorrad Philippines.
I've always wanted to be a farmer. My lolo had a farm in Binyan before it became industrialized. He was old already. I think he was 65 or something. So he has like a green thumb. I think I got my green thumb from there. I know he wanted to make the farm really beautiful. He didn't have enough time. So my pursuit to have a farm is to fulfill his dream here. I was able to create this farm together with Karen, together with the farmers.
Yeah, my family has a farm. My dad, he's also in heaven now, but he used to want to be a farmer as well. He ended up buying a farm property, so we were thinking of starting there, but it didn't quite work out, and this turned out to be a better location for us.
We went here, it's like a jungle. You cannot enter 20 meters, 15 meters, you cannot go inside. Me without really no knowledge about farming, how will I start it? We have to live here because this is gonna be our lives.
What did you say? What do you think? Can you live out here? And I was just like,
I was scared.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a very big leap of faith coming out here and doing this.
No amount of webinars can make you feel confident in looking at a swampy foresty area where you can farm. It takes a lot of courage. I am a very competitive person.
When he finds something that he wants to do, he latches on and will not let go. So he put everything into studying, planning, like just everything. Yeah, like I wake up in the middle of the night, get a drink water, use the bathroom, and he's still studying. So all in. We tested the soil.
That's the biggest challenge.
That was I think that was after clearing. That was like the first thing that
looking
just
back, yeah.
hit us like a ton of bricks in the face because our soil was so acidic.
It's so acidic. The only thing that you can grow are coffee, coconut, and rice. And
that
the
was
palay. That's it.
Tyrone is a Taurus. He's a bullheaded, and he was like, "No,
I'm gonna plant something.
I'm going to make this work." And here we are.
We put
Bat guano.
Yeah, that's the best.
It really helped to neutralize the pH of the soil.
By December 5, we're already planting pechay.
It's very challenging. The leafy greens like that grow fairly quickly, they're very sensitive.
What I learned about farming, you need to have a really good nursery. It needs to have proper aeration. And at the same time, when you plant seeds, the location of the sun should be from east to west.
It's like the full movement of the sun. Rises in the east, sets in the west. So the baby plants in the nursery will get all of the sunlight that they need to grow.
We first came here. After a week, we introduced stingless bee colonies. Albert Einstein said, the human race will only have 4 years if you lose the bees.
And that's been backed by a lot of scientists as well recently too. Bees are so much more important than people understand. We set up a lot of stingless bee colonies.
They say this is the first time that those trees are flowering.
Yeah, it's like I've never seen flowers in that tree before.
Yeah.
And that's definitely because of the stingless bees.
Yeah.
Like they're amazing.
People will tell, don't open up a farm if you're doing it remotely.
Yeah.
But I think with strong leadership and with good planning, I think you can.
It is possible.
You can only do it with the right people.
Yes. People that you can trust.
And it starts with you as a farm owner. I always believe that when something doesn't work well in farming, it's not because of the farmers, it's because of the farm owners. Just like any business, you have to be accountable and responsible for your company. Farmers have problems because
They can't sell their produce.
And the people profiting are the traders. I'm not saying that the problem is just with the traders. I think the problem is also with the farmers. So why? If there's one thing that I realize is when I was selling pechay, in 1 hectare we grew a pechay and we planted it at the same time. And then when I sold it to the market, the woman from the market said, okay, I'll buy from you now and I will drop my trader, my supplier. And then after 2 weeks, can you still supply? 3 weeks, 4 weeks? What's gonna happen to me? So they will find another people to supply to. Another problem is the planning of the farmers.
Sometimes the business mind isn't really there. That's the way it is. There are more business-minded people, such as traders, for example. They can take advantage of situations like that. And we're not saying that they're the enemy at all. It's just that it just turns out that being the ones who make everything rather than the farmers who are putting in all of the hard work.
People should buy directly from the farms because their profit will be multiplied 5, 7, 8, 10 times if they do that.
And also helping farmers, that's another thing that we like to advocate for, because for example with us we have produce that we sell direct to a restaurant. If they need something else and we don't have it but our farmers nearby do, we'll help them connect, so that way they don't have to go through that middleman. So I think that's really important, that farmers don't look down on other farmers and think that they're competition. We all have to help each other. I think also another way that, going back to when I said we want farmers to be lifted up, we have our own advocacies and we have our YouTube channel and everything. And one thing that we definitely want to show so that it'll help lift the farmers and their spirits. Farmers are badass, how they wield their tools and how they carry out their daily tasks. And it looks so simple, but it's really not. It's so amazing how they're able to do these things.
I love Western movies, and when you see the cowboys, they take pride of what they do. Cowboys are like, they herd cows and whatever, they're also farmers, but they have more pride. So I think that's one thing that we can do, is making it known that farmers are cool. People here in the areas, they ride horses. I mean, how cool is that? With your bolo. Okay, that's your carry. Me, when I first saw it, it's like, oh my dear Lord, that's so cool. So I want to be like that.
Okay, what do I love about farming? So many things. One thing is how we can create life from little seeds and it becomes this thing that can nourish people, and it's amazing. The process of life, and it's all there in farming, and it's just so magical. Working with the farmers and getting to know them, that really means a lot. The scenery that we have when we're here, being in a beautiful place, bringing life, bringing nourishment, that's what I love about it. If you don't have farmers, and if you don't grow vegetables and fruit, if you don't tend to the land and take care of animals which help to take care of us in different ways, where would we be as a human race? So that is super cool that farmers can do that. There's so much power in farming.
We in Grace Forest Farm, our food is safe. We go around, whatever you pick, you can eat it.
On the spot.
On the spot. We're not claiming we're organic, but our food is safe. Permaculture, that's our goal. Permaculture is taking good care of your soil, so there's not going to be pest or sickness. We're doing the no-till, no-dig. Means our farm waste, we compost it, the leaves and all. We produce our own fertilizers. It's called vermicast. I don't want to compare ours or our system to anyone, but maybe we use around 5 to 10% mga chemical pesticides and chemical fertilizers just because the plant really needs it.
Yeah,
but I think it's an acceptable practice. And then the no-till, no-dig, I think that is one small achievement for us in climate change. And I think also introducing stingless bees, because the stingless bees won't survive if you have a lot of chemicals.
Yeah.
And
our
our stingless bees are thriving. When you use chemical fertilizers, it goes directly to the plant. It's gonna make the crop really good. But they're also harming the soil because it makes the soil acidic. But when you use more organic fertilizers, like the chicken dung, the carbonized combustion ash, the carbonized rice hull, vermicast, which is really very important, it makes the soil healthy. You need good bacteria to enhance your soil. I think someone has to promote,
Healthier techniques.
and the government can help by banning pesticides and fertilizers that harms our soil. I think the most important thing that with what we're doing with our channel, sharing the failures, sharing
the
some small
failures,
successes,
successes.
my advice to those people who want to open up a farm and who would like to do farming, number one, have your soil tested, because you need your soil to be tested for you to know what crops you can plant. Number two, if you decided on that, you have to know what diseases or what.
Problems that plant would have.
And then number three, you need to have a good partner farmer, and you need to know where to sell your crops. To the people who wants to go farming, you go to a farmer, you introduce yourself. I have not seen any farmer who are selfish with that.
There's really not as many farmers anymore because a lot of the farmers are sort of in their golden years. So there needs to be more youth getting into farming. There are little by little, but I think that's another one of the reasons why we want to really advocate for farmers being heroes, because we want the younger generations to look at farming as something that they can aspire to do. To be a farmer is something to be so proud of.
When people stop supporting farmers, people or companies will import food from other countries. It will take a lot of livelihood, number one. Number two, population is growing. And when a country reach a point that they don't have any food, that's going to be a big problem.
Not supporting our farmers will also increase prices of groceries. Let's just continue to please support local farmers and local produce.